Okay, yes, it's a really big box, but when you add in this one as well, is it big enough? And the question is, can we fit all of this into here? Start with like a little bit of prep work. Put all the minis back away they are with the die in its little thing. This is the way I sorted the interiors here. So all the thugs and things are in there, roadblocks there, all those tokens there, and here I've got the discs for the individual minis as well as the green counters for the hero boards. And then for the expansion little box, of course, we've got all the heroes and things in their slots. Then I put the extra dice and these orange counters, dice covers, shields, and the new cardboard tokens from the expansion all in that box. Now you may notice that these don't have the lid on them, and they're not going to. That's definitely part of making it fit, because those lids are just a little bit too thick. And continuing with the basic prep, you're going to want to take all of your hero boards, take all the hero cards out of them, because then they nest pretty tightly, and that saves you a lot of vertical space in there. Same thing for the location boards, all nested together. And then, because every millimeter of space is vital, you're going to want to take 2 random heroes. Just go ahead and drop them in here, push them on so they're nice and snug, because that'll save you another couple of millimeters. I tend to put them face down because there's going to be plastic boxes sitting on top of them, and I care more if the front gets scratched than if the back gets scratched. And then you're going to want to do the same thing over here with the location boards. Grab any 2 random locations, put them in here. Unfortunately, since those are not symmetrical boards, they can't go in upside down, but just go ahead and push 2 of them in there. And then continuing the theme on the epic board, you're going to want to take these 2, there's only 2 of them, put them into there. Take these 2 counter tags here, only 2 of those as well, go ahead and drop them in, and then go ahead and pick any 2 of these extensions, plop them in as well. For the cards, you can stack all of the villains together, all of the original equipment and personality cards in one stack, and then one smaller stack which has just got the regalia and limelight cards along with the new cargo cards, all from the expansion. I've used a little bit of Hugo's Amazing Tape there to keep those decks together because they just barely fit in the slots for them. Okay, setup out of the way, it's time to actually start loading the box, and the very first thing you want to do is pour all the little counter tokens into the slot for them. Then start grabbing fistfuls of dice, put them in there, and fit as many in as you possibly can. Okay, done. You should be able to fit 8 dice on each row, 6 rows, that's 48 dice. Then the remaining 12, just stick into a baggie. They're going to get tucked in a little later. And while we're talking about baggies, you can go ahead and stick all of the other board counters into a separate baggie, except the green ones. Remember, the green ones are tucked into this corner of the game trays underneath all of the mini base markers. Right, now you can put all of the large cards in there, and the larger pack of small cards right there. The other little pack of small cards is going to get tucked in somewhere else a little bit later. Over here, you can go ahead and put the target token where it belongs, and also feel free to drop Steelheart into his slot, and then just plop Limelight right on top of him. And continuing our theme of fitting 2 things where one thing was really intended to go, we're going to put 2 of the board extensions over there and 2 more right there. Now you may have wondered about Regalia. She is actually going to tuck in right there. It's not great, but it gets the job done. Take your big stack of location boards with 2 tucked into them. Drop them right in there. And then take your hero boards, remember, you got 2 of them stacked upside down. Drop them right into the slot for them, just like so. Pop the mini carrying lid back onto the first game token box and drop it into the slot. Remember, the lid is not there. We don't have room for it. Also, watch out for Cody's gun here. It has a habit of rotating upwards and it'll get caught on other stuff, so just tuck him down in there. Put all the remaining dice, including the little blue one, into this slot on the other token container. Now this one you may need to jiggle the dice around a little bit to get the lid to go completely flat, because Limelight's tail of his little base tucks down pretty deep into that slot there. So jiggle him around and you can get it to lay flush. And then you're going to want to take the epic board, tuck it into here as well. Now that might take a little bit of doing. Pieces are going to fall off. You want to make sure you got it nice tucked into this corner here where it fits good. Jiggle until it's as flat as it can possibly go. Since you got a little bit of a space here, you're going to want to put those baggie full of counters, drop it in there. Then take the expansion token carrier, put it into this bottom corner, all the way down like that. And then you're going to take your huge stack of location tiles, and you're going to flip it upside down, put it in here, slide it over, tuck it all the way into the corner as best you can. You might have to jiggle it around a little bit if it'll get caught up on these edges of this token board, and that'll make one of these boards stick out a little bit further, but that's all okay. The whole stack fits right there. Now you can take your baggie of dice. Only 2 baggies, so not too bad. 2 baggies right there. They tuck in little spaces that are left over amongst all of the big plastic pieces. Then you're going to want to take the whole remaining stack of these board extensions, and they drop in right here between those 2 piles. Really is an almost perfect fit, almost like it was intentional. So at this point, you might be tempted to take that remaining pile of heroes and just drop them here in the corner. And they do fit nicely. But unfortunately, they're just a little bit too tall. You're not going to have enough room to put the last couple of things. So just go ahead and pull 2 of them off. Flip them upside down. Slide them in here like that. That'll buy you the extra couple millimeters you're going to need to actually get the lid to close. And also, I realized that earlier I kind of forgot to deal with the Eldithia board, but it just tucks in here. You can either put it in front of or maybe even behind Regalia there in the corner. It's not great, again, but gets the job done. Okay, we are almost done. Now we're going to take the main board here. It tucks in right there, and it just barely fits. And it even serves as a little bit of a fake lid for these minis over here to stop them from popping out. And you're going to want to wiggle this around a little bit again. Make sure it's pushed down all the way. You want a little bit of a gap here, and then you can take your last pile of cards. Drop them right there. Okay, we are almost done. All that's left is the manuals. I take the Untold Epics book and drop it here, tuck it into the corner, and it serves as a lid for this box of minis as well. If you don't have that book, then, well, it'll be a little bit easier for you to get the box closed, and I guess probably you'd want to put the Limelight book there instead. And then I take the Limelight book and I put it here. I want to put the coils towards the outside because this thing here is a bit of a slope, and you've got a little bit more clearance in the box up here at this end. Tuck it in, push it in, it fits just nicely. In fact, it even tucks under those hero boards just a little bit. And now all you got to do is slap the manuals in. I like to put this one here like that. Then I take the expansion manual and put it in upside down so that the 2 bindings aren't stacked on top of each other. Because once again, we're using every millimeter of space in this box. And that is it. Job done. There's the box. Here's the lid. And the lid goes all the way down and flush. This box is empty, although it's still pretty hefty. So you can decide what you want to do with that. Me, I'm probably going to put it over here with all my other empty expansion boxes that I still don't know what to do with. That is it. Hopefully that was helpful for you, and hope you enjoy the game. Bye.